No nachos. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Howdy, y'all.
Happy Sunday. It's good to see you.
Welcome to another day in the life.
It's a happy Sunday for me. I'm above ground and taking nourishment. That's always a good thing.
Yep. We're on the green side of the grass.
Yeah, that's a good one. Green side of the grass. I like that one.
There's another one of my dad's.
I should have guessed.
He's got.
Hi, Joshua. It's good to see you.
Hey, Josh. How
Welcome.
you doing, partner?
Glad you joined us today.
Yeah, no kidding. Glad to see you.
We got three folks out there. Lisa Johnson. Hi, girl. How
Hi,
you
Lisa.
doing today? I'm kind of getting a slow start this morning. Ahmad's here. Hello, Ahmad. Good to see you too.
I'm kind of running on about 6 cylinders right now, so.
And half an hour ago, I was sound asleep in my recliner with the dog in my lap. So
it's been a bit of a
kind of what?
Hurry up and wait to get on today. We just kind of had to slam dunk it.
Yeah. Don't really have any subject because I couldn't think of anything while I was getting dressed. So sorry about that, guys.
Well.
It's
not like any topics we ever bring up ever
right.
Walk all the way down the timeline anyway.
Unless you talk about the preparations for leaner times. We got that one lasted 2 whole episodes.
Yeah, it did.
We were pretty busy with that. Speaking of that, yesterday when I went to check on my mom, the lady across the street from her had passed away and her family was having a big estate sale. And she had all kinds of books. But one of the things I was most pleased to find was a first aid book. Now, this one was published in 1957, which is quite old. But basic first aid just really doesn't change. And I used to teach first aid with my dad for the Red Cross. But I thought it would be a really good idea to put this in our supply and reference section, because I'm sure there are lots of things that I've forgotten. I'm sure there are things that I've never faced, so I don't know. And it's a good reference, even though it's an old reference. So I'm going to keep that in our stash of reference books. It's just something I really felt it was important to have.
And she also found 4 Rachel Ray cookbooks.
At least 4.
Yeah. And,
let's see. Josh says, "No, you're fine. You just woke up from a nap because his alarm went off. It's set for." Oh, well, I'm so glad you set your alarm. Thank you, Josh. That's really sweet. I don't normally take a nap in the early mornings, but I went to bed early last night and I just couldn't sleep well. I was up and down all night. Hello, Iris. It's good to see you.
Hi, Ellie.
And Ellie, too. Hi.
And hello, Iris.
You either, huh, Josh? Yeah. I've been noticing over the last 6 months or so that I'm taking more naps than I used to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly why I'm doing that, but I'm getting more tired than I used to get, too. It's little things make me real tired. So,
but
I'm not sure what's going on with that. But
Kate runs a lot. She's always
I'm always doing something
on the go. But yeah, I like naps too, Lisa, for sure. Yep.
When I was younger, I didn't nap at all. As a matter of fact, my mother used to tell stories about when I was a toddler and an infant, and she had a terrible time getting me to take a nap. The only way she could actually get me to go to sleep when I would lie down was to lie down beside me and stroke my hair, and that would relax me enough that I would go to sleep. But other than that, I just didn't sleep. I don't know why. I do know why.
Look at all those good naps you wasted, darling.
Well, I always felt like sleeping was a waste of time because something might happen that I wouldn't know anything about, and I didn't let that happen. So,
I don't think I was much of a napper when I was a kid either.
Yeah.
I was kind of pretty much on the go all the time.
Don't forget thumbs up. We've got 5 thumbs up and 8 people watching. How are we today? Moving slowly for the moment.
Yeah, right now just kind of trying to catch up.
You sleep on the chair some of the time
Yep.
too. I do all of my napping
She's
in
got
my
a
chair.
recliner that she's probably logged more hours in than the bed.
Hey, Happy.
How you doing?
You never nap?
You never nap, huh? Well, that's.
I didn't until
Are you bragging or complaining?
I didn't until I had my first case of cancer. And they found out I had cancer when they found out I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. And the doctor wanted to terminate the pregnancy and do a complete hysterectomy at that time. And I said no. So he said, the only way you're going to make it is if you take naps often during the day. So that's when I learned to nap. And she's 40 this year, so I've been napping for a few years.
Apparently he wants out.
I'm sure he does, but I don't know when David is going to come work on the yard, and I don't want him out there when David comes.
That's true. Okay.
So, both you and hubby like naps, huh, Ellie?
Yep.
David naps some too, but he usually goes in and lays down in the bed. Not me. I fall asleep in my recliner. You're only 15 and just walking 2.5 miles to the mailbox when you don't drive the golf cart. Josh, I didn't realize you were only 15. Very mature for a 15-year-old.
2.5 miles to the mailbox. Well, that's interesting.
Happy, when he gets to our age, he probably won't need naps anymore. He's gotten all his naps in when he was younger.
He'll be a master napper by then. There are skills involved with napping, you know. There's the World Napping Association has rules and regulations.
Oh, that's true. 15 going on 40. That's probably true, Happy. He seems like he's much older.
Okay.
Do you get that a lot, Josh? People telling you don't seem like you're 15?
Well, you're hanging out with people that are in their 70s. There's going to be something to be said there.
Oh, Happy says, be careful how you use the term master.
Well. Yes, my dad used to say, jack of all trades, master of none.
There you go. Right now we like napping outside under the shade tree in the hammock. Oh, that would be a lovely place. Nice. Except it gets awfully hot here. I'm not sure we can do it too often. Even when it's 110 in the shade, it's not a good idea for napping there. You know, it's funny, Josh, when I was that age, people never guessed me to be 15 either. People always thought I was in my early 20s. I think it's because I had 3 younger sisters that I was pretty much responsible for.
You had to grow up too fast, Arlen.
Yeah, I did. I grew up very quickly. My dad and mom both had jobs on the weekends. Mom worked, but she didn't work during the week, but she did expect a lot of help around the house and help with my sisters when I was a younger person. So, and I loved babysitting, so I liked kids back then. Of course, I was a kid back then, so that may have made a difference. I'm not real fond of children anymore. I like individual children, but children as a whole, I tend to lose patience with and not enjoy being around. So I tend to be a bit of a disciplinarian, and most people are not as much fun as I am, and I expect the kids to do as I tell them to.
I think that's a generational thing, too.
Yeah.
Just,
but I was that way when I was young. I've always expected children to do what I told them to. But I tend to have less patience now. Did I hear? I can't use the term master bedroom or bathroom. No, why?
Oh, it's probably racist now to use the word master.
Oh, really? So I have to call it a mistress bathroom or a mistress bedroom?
I don't know. That might be.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's a master bath because it's the best bath.
I'm about done with all this political correctness crap anyway.
And I've never been politically correct. I just tell them the way I see them, and if people don't like it, they don't have to listen to me. They can walk away.
If they want to be offended at what I say, then they can walk away.
primary bedroom. That's an idea. I hadn't thought about that. Lisa had 3 younger brothers, and by the time she was 12, people thought those kids were my. Yeah, I agree. Once I got away from them, I started looking younger. I never got away from mine. To be honest, Lisa, the oldest of my 3 younger sisters passed away in 2017, and until then, she told everybody I was her older sister and second mother. So I never got away from mine. Josh said, well, all my cousins are here on my Tennessee property. I get so tired and take at least 5 naps a day and sleep like a baby at night. Oh, I wish I could sleep like a baby at night. You suppose I ought to just let him out and watch?
Yeah, let him out. And
okay.
Just see
I'll be right back, guys. Puppy dog wants out. Go to the door. Good boy. Yeah, I'll let you out. Go to the door. Good boy. There you go. I think the problem is, too, the cat may be out.
Yeah, probably. He certainly seemed to want out pretty bad, though.
Yeah. He will let himself back in. I don't have to worry about that. He's figured out how to pull the screen door open so he can get in, but he hasn't figured out how to push it to let himself out. I don't know why, because it seems to me pushing would be easier.
You would think.
Oh, well.
But now also we have a problem with that because, like late at night, if we let him out, say, 11-ish or something like that, sometimes when he lets himself in, the cat goes out, which we don't want. So we have to be kind of careful about him going in and out at night.
Josh said if I had to live with my cousins, I would need aging surgery by the time I'm 20. Having a lot of little kids around will age you. I agree. It'll either age you or it'll make you a lot younger in your attitudes.
Yep, one of the two.
I'm one of those rare and unusual people. I have always preferred being around teenagers.
Ellie, he's just a dog. He's, like all dogs, they have their idiosyncrasies, and he's finally learning. It took him a while to figure out how to get in on his own because the door doesn't quite shut all the way. It's just kind of off kilter just a little bit. So it's just enough for him to catch his paw in and pull the door open a little bit, and then he slips in. And that's when the cat waits there while the door's that much open and slips out. So
the door has one of those closers that keeps it from slamming, which also keeps it open for the cat to sneak out.
Yep. So it's, but I'll tell you what, the cat's smart enough to stay close to home because, we live on about 4 acres of land, and we're about, a quarter of a mile from the nearest street or road, whatever you want to call it. It's country lane, but he stays close to home, which is really good because we do have coyotes and eagles and big hawks and things of that sort around here that, although he's a pretty good sized dog, he's maybe 30 pounds?
At least 30 pounds. Remember, I've been putting weight on him.
So
not on purpose.
I doubt the birds are much of a threat to him, but the coyotes certainly are.
Yeah, and the cat's not nearly 30 pounds, and the cat would have problems.
Yeah, the cat would be the
birds are in their cages, and they're just being quiet, except for that one scream.
They're being kind of calm right now, which we like.
I've sort of been getting them used to being in their cages more than out. It's just so that I don't have to stop and deal with them all the time when I'm trying to do housework or baking or cooking or whatever. So I'm trying to get them used to staying in a little more often.
Yeah. They seem to do pretty good.
Yeah, they don't seem to mind it. I mean, they don't scream and squawk until 4:30 or 5 in the afternoon, and then they do. Usually by then I'm ready to sit down and relax for a little while anyway, so we let them out, and Gandhi crawls all over me, and the other 2 get on their stands. So Gandhi loves to be with me. If I'm sitting down in my recliner, he goes from the footrest all the way up to the back of the chair behind my head and back down. And
over and over again.
Yeah, he does. And he always stops when he gets to right here and talks to me for a few seconds and then goes whichever direction he's going. So, and he thinks he's having conversations. I'm convinced of it.
He's got a lot of personality.
Yeah.
He does that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
The other 2 like to just be on their stands in the room with us. They don't particularly want to be, although they would like to be on David's chair a lot. but they're happy being just on their stand. So
yeah, they're content to be there. I don't know if they're happy, but they deal with it okay.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I think.
Well, what they're doing right now, Maud, is they're just all kind of sitting quietly in their cage at the moment, which is good.
Preening their feathers to make sure they're clean and smooth and pretty and stuff like that. Maybe eating once in a while or taking a drink, but they've destroyed all the toys we had in there. I need to put new toys in again.
We do need to put new toys in there.
Yeah,
You're right.
The last one went down in flames this week, so it's time.
Hey, Amy. How you doing, darling?
Hi, Amy. Good to see you.
Thanks for coming by.
Yay.
Boy, my voice sounds funny to me today. Does it sound funny to you?
You're a little dehydrated. You need to drink some water again.
I can always tell when I'm getting a little dehydrated. My voice kind of changes timbre.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Haffy. I kind of got an issue on my heart today. My daughter, Kinder, my elder child, is having her hip replaced tomorrow. And I've had one done, and for me, it was a piece of cake.
Yep.
I'm hoping the same is true for her, but she is considerably younger. She turns 50 this year in October. So here at the age of 49 and several months, she's having to have a hip redone. So I hope it goes well for her.
So please add her to your prayer list.
Yep. And she's already had one hand done for
carpal tunnel.
Carpal, and apparently they need to do the other one as well. And I don't know about her other hip, whether or not it's going to have to be replaced or not. Amy. But in any case, I think she's having her left hip replaced tomorrow. So if you would just her name is Kinder. That's Kynder. Yeah, it's an unusual name. But her name is Kinder. And if you
she's an unusual person.
Yeah, she is that. But if you would, please.
Hi.
Hold her in your prayers if you can. Hi, Pine City. How you doing? And I have other plans for today, too. I have a PGA championship to watch. So that's coming down to the final day. Some of my favorite golfers are out there knocking the ball around. Very strange to watch them with no galleries and no cheering and no noise to speak of, but they are playing. So that's the important thing. I'm glad to see them back on tour.
And I do hope to do some canning today. I've got other things to do as well, but I hope to do some watermelon lemonade. It's a concentrate that you can put on the shelves in your pantry in the middle of winter when you need something nice and cool and refreshing. Take that out and pour it in the water, and it should be wonderful. You're going to go kayaking, Ellie? Oh, that sounds cool. Amy's never been interested in golf. Doesn't sound like Celtic Bear is either. Okay. I didn't know anything about golf until I married David, and I've learned. I now have my favorite golfers, and I can recognize them even from the back most of the time. You need to get Miss Kate and Mr. David verified. So show much love. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Joshua.
Golf is an acquired interest, that's for sure. It's unless you've played golf, it's difficult to understand golf and difficult to appreciate golf.
Well, it's hard to understand what's going on with golf, even if you've watched it for 10 years like I have. There's still a lot I don't know.
I didn't start playing until after I retired from the military, so I was about 40. And I went to work for an outfit called Sterling Software, and we were doing contract work with the government. And they had a golf league, and
Paul golfed once.
One of the guys, one of the guys that I worked with, kind of persuaded me to go out and try it out.
Ooh, Haffy used to
and
have
I found I liked it.
A handicap of 12 or 14.
The best I ever got down to, John, I was down to a 9, and That was after about 3 years of playing. My first year, I was like a 20 on the league that I was in with Sterling. And then I got interested in it, so I started going to the driving range and all that sort of stuff. And by my third year, I had it down to a 9. So I did pretty good.
Celtic, do you have a recipe for the watermelon rind pickles on your site? I have not watched all of your videos, unfortunately, and I didn't know. I had planned to save it to do pickles, but I don't have a recipe. I was going to go search for one. Kevin, good to see you.
Yeah, Josh, you're right. It does take quite a bit of coordination, hand-eye coordination, and body awareness, things of that sort. It's easy to play and impossible to master.
Amy, I play putt-putt as well, but my problem is when I hit set up for a drive down the putt-putt golf course, I drive it and it ends up 2 or 3 holes over from where I started, so I don't do it very much anymore either. Lisa Johnson played golf.
Lost a baby during one of the finals?
Cool.
Well, that sounds kind of tragic.
Blue Book recipe. Okay, I'm sorry, what is it?
Lisa said she used to be on a golf league, but lost a baby during one of the finals and hasn't played since. That sounds kind of tragic.
Yeah, that is, and I think that would stop me from playing too. I know how that feels.
Yeah, golf is a...
Shank all my shots.
I played a lot of Army golf. You know, I'd hit it left and I'd hit it right, hit it left and hit it right. If I had a straight shot, that was the more unusual. But I've got to where I could at least predict what it was going to do. So I had a pretty distinct fade. I never really had much talent for drawing the ball, which is from right to left. So my shots generally went from left to right.
One more thing we have in common. Well, putt-putt's definitely not my sport. If I want to stay on the green, I have to use like a pool
Lisa,
cue.
that sounds kind of tragic. Yeah.
Lisa,
but anyway, like I said, golf is kind of an acquired interest. The reason I enjoy watching it is because I know what these guys are doing, and every now and then they hit the same bad shots that I used to hit. You know, it's not like they're not perfect, no matter what they say. You know, they're very, very talented, but they still hit bad shots. They still knock them in the water. They still, you know, get into the bunkers. They still miss a 2-foot putt. You know, they're not immune to the same issues and problems that I used to have when I played golf. So that's why I like watching it.
Celtic, on the Blue Book recipe, is that actually called watermelon rind pickles, or is it some other pickle? And yes, I saw your kittens. They are
I've seen pictures of your kittens. They are cute as can be.
They're just, hi, Tim.
Hey, Tim. How you doing?
It's become a contact sport.
It's become a contact ground. Yeah, I heard that.
An old Navy chief once told me that golf should be a 4-letter word. Use your imagination.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I've done more cussing over golf than I probably have any other sport I ever played. And I played a lot of sports when I was younger. I led a pretty active life. So
the only sport I ever took part in with a regular basis was boy watching. And I did that real well. But I used to tell people all the time, I don't run for anybody or any reason. So,
well, let's see. I played football and baseball. Did some track, not running track, but I did like the strength events in track and field. And I played racquetball for years. That was my favorite. That was my go-to. I loved racquetball, and got to where I was what they call a B player.
I tried racquetball once and got hit in the head with the ball. I said, no more of this.
So I really enjoyed racquetball. Played squash.
Hey, she's gone country. Glad to see you.
Quite a few other sports. So,
honey, you're never late. As long as you get here, that's all that matters. Celtic Bear liked cricket.
Yeah, Amy, I agree with that. I never took up jogging. I have never been a jogger. I always told everybody, I said, when I see a jogger smiling, then I'll take up jogging.
Amy, you're right.
Oh, wow. Hey, Happy, that's cool. Your dad played for the Giants in the minor leagues in the 50s. That's
Neat.
cool.
I had a neighbor when I was growing up who was a former pro football player. And he was in a league and he played with somebody named Crazy Legs Hirsch.
Crazy Legs Hirsch, one of the most famous of all time.
Yep. He supposedly was a real well-known football player.
Yeah, he was back in the early days.
My neighbor used to brag about it all the time, that he played on the same league or same team with this guy. So.
They made a movie about him.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he called Crazy Legs because he was fast?
Well, he was a very deceptive runner. He was one of the ones that could, fake you out. He'd go left and then he'd go right. Yeah, good broken field runner. Okay. Yep, that's exactly.
He's in the Maine Hall of Fame, according to Happy. Well, this guy, my neighbor, it was obvious he was a former football player. He still was built like a football player. He still had the muscles, although he didn't play anymore, but he did work out in his garage a lot. So,
yeah, Big Wave. I played on a couple of military base courses over the years, and the only PGA course I ever played on was in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Not bad.
That's where they have the Phoenix Open, or now it's, I guess, the Waste Management Open. It's usually the first event of a new golf season after the first of the year. And I played that course one time when I went back there from Nebraska to visit my mother. I took an afternoon and went up there and played that course. It was a bear.
Celtic, is there a story behind those four names? They're kind of unusual.
What's that? What name?
Celtic's kittens are called Gizmo, Blake, Priscilla, and Binks. I just wondered if there was names behind them, because Gizmo and Binks are kind of unusual names.
Yeah, well.
Blake, I know a Blake, and I used to know a Priscilla, but I've never met a Binks or a Gizmo.
Well, Gizmo, wasn't that one of those critters that you couldn't get wet?
Oh.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
That was an old sci-fi movie. I don't remember the name of them either right now. I'm going to have to look up that watermelon rind recipe. Binks.
There you go. The movie. Okay.
Do you know a Blake and a Priscilla? Are they named after people or gremlins? That's it. Thank you,
there you go,
Amy.
Gremlins. Thank you, Amy. Yep. I knew somebody'd know it.
Yeah. It was a cute little movie. Although I wasn't terribly thrilled with them when they turned into monsters because they got wet. Then I've never been a scary movie person.
That was the hook, darling.
I know, but I still didn't like them when they did that. I thought they were great when they were sweet and cuddly, but I didn't like them when they turned scary. I've had the privilege of playing
the Olympic Club.
K.O. Olani.
They've been talking about the Olympic Club on this telecast. What they're playing on is a public course in San Francisco, but they're talking about the Olympic Club too. So that's a nice course. I never played that one. Never got to play any courses in California.
Priscilla and Blake were other pets that passed on.
Oh, okay.
That explains it, yeah.
Yep.
One of my favorite cooks, Rachel Ray, named her former dog that just passed away a few months ago, Isaboo, after Isabel and Boo. So I thought that was an unusual name. Amy, that movie gave you nightmares too? That's why I don't watch scary movies, because they always give me nightmares. Other than the movie called Scary Movies, and that was so hokey I laughed at it. But most of them give me real bad nightmares. When I was a kid was when the first Mummy movie came out, and for years I saw it, and for years after that I didn't do anything with scary movies at all.
Jim, take care. Yeah. Thanks for coming by, partner. Good to see you.
Oh, good. Somebody else that doesn't like scary movies.
And Big Wave, they've been having trouble with the fog and the wind and the cold there in San Francisco this weekend too.
Happy, we're big space fanatics here.
Oh, yeah.
We are big space fanatics.
Yes, Happy, you could say I'm a space fan.
Old lady in the chairlift. I don't remember that part of it.
I don't remember the movie, frankly. 121. Well, at least you're honest about it. You know, a lot of people carve about 30 off. Oh yeah, I shot at 85. No.
Cool. Commenting on your tablet. All right, that works. Monkeys and the Wizard of Oz scared me to death. They did me the first time I saw it. Yeah, they scared me too. I didn't like them at all, and especially when they had them cornered on that little roundabout thing there before the Dorothy melted the witch. They had me pretty scared then. Doctor Who is mine and husband.
And Star Trek.
Doctor Who is his. Okay, Doctor Who. We love Doctor Who too, especially the new one.
Yeah.
The new lady Doctor Who is really makes a lot of the things that got lost in the old one more understandable because it's coming from a woman.
Yeah, big wave. You and I back in our day probably played some at least decent golf. I really wish I could play again, but those days are gone. But oh well, those days are gone.
Totally out of place in my book. Oh, the old lady in the rocking chair. I don't remember that part of the movie. That's why I'm asking, Celtic. Love Doctor Who's really like the old series.
Yeah.
I didn't like the old series.
Some of the original stuff was really pretty cheesy.
Well, but look how far long ago it was made.
Well, yeah.
It was probably wonderful for when it was made.
Well, no, it was cheesy even when it was made.
Was it cheesy when it was made? I don't remember. I didn't like it back then, but like I said, I like the female Doctor Who. I really do. Oh, Celtic's doesn't like the fan of the lady Doctor Who. I'm sorry, Celtic. I really think that it changes the humor in the show to the point where I really get a kick out of it. But then I guess if you started watching it when it was a man, she would seem a little out of place, having a female doctor.
She, everyone who's played Doctor Who has brought their own
twist.
Yeah, their own personality to the role.
Kind of like the different ones that played James Bond.
Yeah.
I liked Sean Connery as James Bond, and I liked the last man that was so funny. I don't even remember his name right now.
Pierce Brosnan was pretty good.
Who?
Pierce Brosnan.
He was okay, but he's a little too stiff to be a good James Bond.
That's
who he is, though.
Yeah, that was kind of my picture of James Bond. He was kind of an unassuming guy, but he was extremely deadly. And that was kind of like Pierce Brosnan.
I like
the one that I thought sucked was Roger Moore.
That's the one I liked.
Oh, okay. Well, in my mind, he was the worst.
Yeah, James Moore's brought.
Yeah, the Brits do have a unique sense of humor. That's a fact, Jack. So yeah.
You're right. Sean Connery was easy on the eyes. I don't know what he looks like now. I don't even know if he's alive anymore.
I think he's still with us, and he definitely looks old. But
British comedy, yeah. He's probably my mom's age, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's
in his 90s.
He's up there. Yep.
Yeah, he was definitely eye candy when he was doing those movies. And when he was doing the ones where he played Indiana Jones' dad, he was nice looking then too. I liked him in those parts. James Bond got the Roger Moore and Sean Connery. Yep.
Yeah, well, I'll go for one of those. Roger Moore never did strike me as a very James Bondy kind of guy.
Well, but you were expecting a different thing. You were expecting a different thing out of James Bond. Benny Hill. Kevin, I remember the Benny Hill
that was
movies
one I never bothered with.
You what?
I never bothered with Benny Hill. I always found him just to be ludicrous.
Oh, I thought it was just hysterical.
No, well, that goes back to that British humor again.
Yes, but see, I enjoy British humor.
Well, I do sometime too, but Benny Hill was just kind of, he was definitely out there.
Yes, he was.
Definitely out there.
Happy says she's eye candy now.
Yeah, well.
I don't know, Happy. I've never seen you. I've never seen you on a video, and I've never seen you in person.
Well, let's see, eye candy. What would be? What's that real hot candy? The real hot ones.
The cinnamon ones?
Yeah, the hot cinnamon ones.
Yeah. Cinnamon Red Hots is
Yeah,
one.
that would be the kind of eye candy I am. Nobody could handle me.
Monty Python.
Yeah,
That's the one I was
Monty
trying to
Python was interesting. That was.
That's one I didn't care for.
Well, that was lowbrow, highbrow. They played it to the hilt, more or less. But
I think the problem with me and Monty Python is it was too cerebral for me.
Monty Python was too cerebral.
Atomic Balls Candy. Thank you.
That's
Patrick.
the ones. Yeah, that's me.
The best song.
Oh, come on. I don't know. What, are we playing trivia now?
Oh, Ahmad always comes up with trivia
Yeah, that's
questions.
true,
He's
yes.
got some
Yeah.
good ones too. Oh my God, it's only a flesh wound. Lisa Johnson, I've never gotten into Bond movies. I read all the books, and I think Ian Fleming would roll over.
Oh,
in his
definitely.
grave.
Yeah, you definitely would, Lisa. You're absolutely right.
We've got. I think every James Bond movie ever
We got
made on
most of them over
DVD.
there. We got
We've
most
just
of
got
them.
a ton of them out there. We've probably got 400 or 500 DVDs total.
Well, if you go back and you watch Dr. No now, it is the cheesiest movie you've ever seen. I mean,
The original Dr. No
yeah.
movie.
I mean, the fight scenes are just you can see the air between the fists
Like
and the
this,
face.
huh?
You know, I mean, it was just so poorly done, and it sucked. It's just a really cheesy movie to make such a big hit. It was
Now
pretty
it's-
cheesy.
Now the movie is some kind of a cult thing.
I guess you could say that. I mean, there's definitely people that are hooked on the whole, James
whole
Bond
series and everything.
series, but
Doctor Who's 60s to 70s.
yeah, they got better. They got better. The Broccoli's started spending a little more money on the movies, but
Oh, they started making more money, so they spent a little.
yeah, I
more.
guess that'd be probably pretty true. I don't know, there's a couple of them in there that you would almost call classics, but most of those are, the more recent ones where they've really gotten pretty complex. And, but the stunts that they do in those movies are incredible. That's, once they got their grip on how to do some big stunts, which they didn't do in Dr. No, then they really did do a lot of good stuff.
Oh, Amy. Actually, I like some of the Disney Channel stuff, but not all of it. I don't like their fake teenage stuff.
Well, if you've been watching what's the Purple Dragon's name?
Oh, Barney. Now, wait a minute. Don't you talk bad about Barney.
I tell you what, if you wanted to torture me, darling, and drive me absolutely crazy, tie me down and make me watch Barney.
But you're not the audience it was aimed at.
I don't care.
The audience it was aimed at is perfect for them.
Okay.
It really is. It was aimed at 3 to 5-year-olds.
Well, if I had to babysit 3 to 5-year-olds and watch Barney, I'd be crazy.
Okay. Celtic doesn't like Barney either. I can't say it's adult entertainment. It certainly is not. But for its target audience, it really, really was good.
I tell you what, Haffy, if you want to start watching Dr. No, go back and find the ones where Rose is his companion. I can't recall her real name right now.
Doctor Who, not Dr. No.
Doctor Who, I'm sorry. But the episodes where Rose is his companion are the best of the entire series. Rose was his best companion by far.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep.
Well, you have to look at Barney from the standpoint of what was it trying to do and who was it trying to attract. And if you look at it from that standpoint, you realize it was really a good. But then again, that's like Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers is the same kind of deal. You look at who it was pointed to and who it was trying to appeal to. He did a great job. Personally, I never cared for the guy in the sweater, but he did a good job for who was trying to.
Captain Kangaroo is another one.
Oh, don't you talk bad about my Captain Kangaroo. He was my hero when I was a little kid. And Mr. Green Jeans, too. Mr. Green Jeans is the reason I went into gardening.
Okay.
Yeah. Daddy
now,
used to
I tell you
garden all
what,
the time.
I've never bothered even trying to figure out what SpongeBob SquarePants
Yeah, I haven't.
or the Teletubbies are about. I've not even watched those at all.
Well, the Teletubbies were cute, but I'm not too big on cartoons, so SpongeBob didn't attract me at all.
Yeah, you're right. The Big Wave, the old Doctor Who was all in black and white, and that goes back to the period where it was pretty cheesy back then.
Kangaroo, Mr. Green Jeans, and I guess Mr. Banana Man. I'd forgotten about Mr. Banana Man. That is good. That is good.
I don't know. I guess I'm just not a big cartoon fan anymore. I mean,
I'm not either.
Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner were my faves.
My all-time favorite cartoon of all was Popeye, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I did watch Popeye. But I'd have to say one of my favorites was Yogi Bear and
Oh yeah.
and
Yep. And Boo Boo.
and Boo Boo.
Yep.
And what the heck was that name?
The Ranger. I don't remember. Was it Ranger Bob? The Ranger that was
No, there was a
Captain wasn't a cartoon.
there
That's
was
true.
a there was a
Mr. Moose.
a kid that wore glasses that was incredibly smart.
Oh yeah. I can't think of it, but he
Can't
was
think of
often
his
on the
name.
Rocky and Bullwinkle show.
Exactly, and that was another one I enjoyed was Rocky and Bullwinkle.
They're still doing cartoons.
Wait a
They're
minute,
still doing
Josh.
commercials.
SpongeBob is blocked because it's inappropriate.
What is?
Josh says that SpongeBob is blocked on our TVs because it's inappropriate.
Well, I guess it would depend
For
on
what?
who. I guess it would depend on who lives
Yeah.
in their house.
Well,
Looney
if it's-
Tunes and Scooby Doo. Okay, Kevin, what kind of a dog was Scooby Doo?
Well, Great Dane, kind of.
I remember.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Celtic says it's magic mirror time.
Yeah, Mr. Peabody, that's the one.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I have a collective memory here.
Well, it seems to be what happens no matter what we're talking about.
Great Dane.
You're right. It was
See,
a great
That's what I
Dane.
said.
Mhm.
Yep, it was a Great Dane.
Now, you know, one of my favorite game shows right now, and it just went off the air not too long ago, was called The Chase.
We're off the air?
Yeah, now she's not doing The Chase anymore. She's doing the
I
Mastermind.
figured she was doing both.
Well, I thought Chase went off. I don't know. Anyway, this guy has an incredible intellect. Showing our age here, that's true. Anyway, it's a trivia type thing. And the man, Mark Labatt, who is supposedly the star of the show, can answer all kinds of trivia things. And basically, it goes up against three people, and they try and stump him. And he has said many, many times that he does not like to go up against the teams that have a range of ages, because when you have a range of ages, everybody has a different niche, and so they can capture him. They can catch his mistakes.
He doesn't lose very often, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I agree, Ellie. I think it's one of the best game shows out there.
Yeah, it's one of the few that I enjoy.
I get
There's
a
some
kick
out
of
there
it.
that are just absolutely ridiculous, too.
Yeah, there are some. But
America Says is not too bad, but there's another one. The real slender guy that looks like he's about 15 years old.
I
I can't remember the name of the game, but anyway, he's about the most unlikely game
it's
show
not
host I've ever
America
seen.
Says.
No, America Says isn't too bad.
It's Rob Bellucci is
Yeah,
the
it's,
guy's
yeah,
name.
it's
I don't
Bellucci.
remember the name of the company of the one either.
Yeah, but he's about as useless as tits on a board as far as a game show host.
Yeah, he's not very good.
Now that they've got what's her name over on Catch
Brooke
21,
Burns. Brooke Burns.
Huh?
Brooke Burns.
Yeah. No.
She's now on Masterminds instead of Shape.
No.
Oh.
You didn't hear me. Now that they have the former dancer from Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah. Whitney.
Yeah.
She's now on Catch 21.
Yeah, now that's upgraded the watchability of that show considerably. She is a fox.
50 and Fabulous. That's Rachel Ray. Although Rachel's now just recently turned 51, but she's fabulous.
I'll tell you the ones I can't imagine are still around.
Who?
Spin the Wheel. What's her name? Vanna White.
Oh, Vanna White. Yeah, Jack Sajak.
I mean, she's got to be pushing 65 or so. Well, thank you, Happy. Don't know what I did to deserve that, but thank you.
You said don't hold back, David. I wonder what you would think.
I don't know. I definitely don't do that very often.
No. Yeah, I couldn't believe when we turned on just recently, just flipping through the channels and found Wheel of Fortune and Vanna was still there. And she really looks fairly decent considering.
Yeah, there are some folks that are blessed genetically that just
and there are some folks
age well
that are blessed with good doctors.
Yeah, that's true. They know who's got the best knives.
Right.
Yep. Why do I smell maple syrup?
I don't know. I smell it too. I'm not cooking anything. Must be something coming in through the door.
Okay, I have to ask this question.
All right.
I remember reading not too long ago that a certain kind of snake has an odor to it.
Syrup?
I think.
I
think
know.
It was copperheads. Yeah.
Well, put your feet up off the floor. And
Yeah,
hope
no
for the
kidding.
best.
I'm looking down here to see if I see it.
Let's see. Yeah, Celtic, she is easy on the eyes.
Who are we talking about?
Vanna.
Oh, Vanna, I don't know. She's all right.
Let's see, never hold back unless it'll hurt someone, and then it depends on who it is.
Yep, well, I do hold back actually quite a bit sometimes.
Sometimes.
I don't often want to hurt people's feelings. That could be, I might be thinking about pancakes.
Amy, I made a bunch of waffles in my little mini waffle maker that makes them about the size of those Eggo waffles and put them in the freezer.
Wait a minute. Celtic, you're saying I'm easy on the eyes?
No.
Yeah, he was. I think he was.
Oh.
Scroll up just a little bit on the.
Let me get over there.
Yeah. Now, see there it says, Celtic says, easy on the eyes.
Mm-hmm. And then down here.
And then down here I was talking about David.
Well, I agree with you, Celtic, but I thought he was easy on the eyes since I got a picture of him on the computer printer that was done in dot matrix. The very first thing I ever saw of him. Yeah, it was a good idea, Amy.
Hey, Sam, how you doing?
I just pull it out and pop it in the toaster, and it's warm and yummy in just a moment or two. Hi, Sam's allotment. It's good to see you.
Oh.
I've been trying to do a lot of things that make it easier or make it quicker. Doing that watermelon lemonade, and I watched another video on canning butter. I've got about 8 pounds of butter in the fridge that I need to do something with, and I think I'll do that too. Yes, they were, Kevin. They were very slow, and you couldn't really tell until you held them. My arm was never long enough so that I could hold it and look at it and tell a lot about it. I'm okay just about hanging on. The lockdown on my city is taking its toll.
Yeah, it's taking its toll everywhere, Sam.
Yeah, it is a quick breakfast. I agree.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm going to can some butter, and I also watched 3 videos this morning on canning cheese.
Canning cheese?
Yes, on canning cheese. 2 of the 3 were on canning cheddar cheese. And you can keep it on your shelves in your pantry. And when you open it up, the texture is slightly different, but the flavor is still the same. And I thought, I might try that. Because you know me and cheese. I love me some cheese.
Yep. Yeah, Sam, I know being on lockdown is a whole lot worse on some folks than it is on others. We're kind of lucky. We kind of live out in the country, so it doesn't affect us too much, and neither one of us really go out much anyway. So, Lancaster, England. Okay. Yeah, I can see why it would be a problem there.
I can better. I keep mine in the freezer because I'm trying not to put things in the freezer, Celtic.
There's no room in our freezer. She's got them packed, so I can't even get her to get a pizza in there.
Get a what?
I don't have any frozen pizzas on hand because your freezer is full.
I wouldn't serve you a frozen pizza
anyway. I'd
it's
like
like eating cheese on cardboard.
I beg your pardon, but DiGiorno makes some darn good pizzas. I'll eat a DiGiorno pizza about once a week if I had them.
Yeah.
Okay, what is ghee?
Yeah, I know how to make ghee. That's clarified butter. It's where you take all the milk fats out and you have the butter flavor in the oil.
Oh, okay.
And I've made ghee before, but I've never canned it. I've just made it and put it in the fridge.
Okay.
And it's easier to can than canning butter with all the butterfat solids in it. Because when you can butter, according to everything I've seen, you have to shake it over and over again while it's cooling to keep everything emulsified. Of course, once it's cooled down, then it stays that way. Thank you, Happy. Happy agrees with my pizza.
I'm sorry, Sam, that your situation is impacting your life that way. That's too bad. That is too bad.
Oh, my. Yeah. Does he have a phone? Can you at least call and talk to him?
I guess if...
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, some of these guidelines are just that, Sam. If you feel strongly enough about it, if you can take the right precautions so that you can get either to where he is or get him to where you are, you should be able to do that safely without exposing either one of you unnecessarily. But I can understand you wanting to make some memories with the old guy.
Yeah.
Since I'm an old guy.
They have no internet and can't call him as he's pretty much deaf. Oh, that's a shame.
Well, then I guess that you have to go there, don't you?
He doesn't need canning and can just sit on the shelf. Well, Happy, when I process ghee, I don't put it in a water bath or a pressure canner. Once I get it clarified, I put it in the jars, put the lid and all on, and turn it upside down until it starts to cool. That way the lid stays hot, and then when you turn it back over as the jar cools, it does its own pressuring.
Yeah, your freezer is full, Amy, and you got some more meat chickens that are going to be ready soon.
Where did you see that?
Amy.
Oh, there it is. Okay. And wait a minute, Amy. How soon are they going to be ready? I thought it wasn't until October.
Well, Josh, sitting there in the middle of Kentucky, you got your own Italian brick oven? That's interesting.
Yeah. We have Blake has a friend who makes outdoor brick ovens for cooking pizza. And he took one over when Blake had farm days and set it up and served pizza to anybody who wanted some. Speaking of Blake, I don't know how many of you guys follow Daddy Curbs, which is where I got my start on live streaming. But he recently, as in yesterday, announced that he's stepping away from live streaming for a while. And
they got a lot of things going on.
Yeah, he's got a special needs son who is has health challenges, and he's got a full-time job, and his farm requires a lot, so he's pretty busy. And he's building a large barn, he and his two sons.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures of that barn. It's really going to be a big one.
It is.
It's going up very nicely.
I've got to get more jars because I will probably can most of that. Flat top grill that I use, a cheap tinfoil pan to cover the pizza, and it works like a champ. Huh. Celtic, you take care. Thank you for dropping by, guys.
Yeah, Josh, that would be true. Brick oven does give you a good crust. Years ago,
I need more pint jars.
I worked for Pizza Hut, but this was back whenever a lot of their stores were independently owned. And the one that I worked at had a brick oven, and it was gas. Nowadays, they're pretty much all electric. So we had a gas oven going up underneath these stones, and oh, man, it made the best pizzas. We were the busiest Pizza Hut in Mobile, Alabama, because we had those gas and brick ovens, and people would come from all over town to get their pizzas from our store. So,
Amy, you're right. Jars are getting very hard to get, and I saw some on Marketplace yesterday. This one woman was selling quart jars for $10 a piece, and she was getting it.
That seems to me that's illegal gouging right there.
That's what I think too, but
that is price
you get
gouging.
what you want. So,
$10 for one jar?
For one quart jar. And I've seen
Who in the world would buy that?
I don't know. Somebody desperate for a quart jar, I guess. And I saw a set of 6 pint-sized jars for $25. So, yeah, you're right, Amy. That is ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're right, John. That's yeah. I tell you, Kate, if you pay $10 for a jar, don't tell me.
Well, if I were paying $10 for a jar, number one, it would not be for canning food.
All right.
It would have to be gold lined and something special. Just for the fun of it, we cook personal pan pizzas on the grill and cast iron.
Tip. Well, they tip pretty good from BMW, I guess. Huh? That's cool.
Well, for 15 people, that
would
be a huge.
That was a hell of a tip.
Yeah, but that would be a huge group to wait on.
If you did a good job of it, you probably earned that 180 pounds. So, but that's a lot of money. That was a good tip.
Personal pan pizzas on the grill in cast iron skillets. Huh, that's not a bad idea. Kevin, I find all kinds of jars at thrift stores and roadside flea markets. You know, Kevin, I've looked at thrift stores here, and the thrift stores are way more expensive than going to like, isn't it Facebook Marketplace? Yeah, Amy, I agree.
And Sam, yeah, it was tough work. That was a part-time job for me while I was in Mobile. And yeah, I was the cook, so it was tough. Yeah, if it's got something in it that's worth $10, that's another story.
I'd pay $10 for a jar full of $100 bills.
There you go. Yeah, Sam said their bill came to 380 pounds.
Whoa.
That's a lot of money for 15 people for pizza. Was that? Well, I guess did that include the tip? So then that would be $200 for the food and $180 for you.
You'd pay that too, Amy? Another way we're alike.
Yeah.
Amy and I have decided that we're twins with different mothers born 30 years apart.
Yeah.
We just have an awful lot more
sisters from other mothers.
Huh?
Sisters from other mothers.
Mm-hmm. Half of that was just bottles. No, that wasn't included.
Oh, okay.
The
so
so they were drinking as well.
Apparently.
$10 for a jar full of quarters, yeah?
Yeah, I'd go for that.
Yep, probably would. I don't think I'd pay $10 for a jar full of pennies. Although I don't know, the price of copper has gotten so high, if there were enough old pennies, it'd be worth it. Speaking of old pennies, I made a few months ago, an alcohol cook stove out of a soda can. And one of the things that you had to have was pennies before 1983. Hi, North Shore, good to see you, because they had enough, whatever the metal was, that they wouldn't melt. The others, the alcohol got so hot that it would melt newer pennies. I don't know why. I had older pennies. I didn't try the newer ones.
Happy, thanks for coming by, partner. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, you take care, and we'll see you next week.
Go ahead and get your work done, partner. And thank you. And North Shore, hello.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was easy to make, and it worked very well. The only problem I had was I needed to make some kind of a framework to set the pan on, because you cut the soda can in half and then fit the top over the bottom. So you need to have something to support the weight of the pan.
And big wave, thunderstorms gone. Obviously, he's in Florida.
Yes.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to stay too long after 2:00.
Are you?
Well, you can certainly hang out and
I'll probably hang out
chat,
for a little
but,
while, although my hips have been bothering me today, so I'm not too sure how long either.
I kind of like to more or less stick to our time frame, but then it seems like a lot of folks show up right at the hour mark.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
That's why I usually hang out at least till 2:30.
Yeah, I know.
Because lots of folk come in later. And we haven't seen Irene yet today. She usually comes in later.
That's true.
Josh says, don't go, don't go. Oh,
well, there's part of the reason that I want to go is I am recording golf.
His golf. I'm a golf winner, folks.
So, and it's a lot of golf today, since this is a major tournament. This is the PGA. So they're doing a lot of it over on ESPN, and then they're moving over to network. I think it's CBS. And altogether today, there'll probably be about, I'm going to estimate about, if I wanted to watch it all from end to end, 9 hours.
Yeah.
But luckily, the way that I watch it, I can compress. I go from shot to shot. I don't spend a lot of time listening to the talking heads. And obviously, I fast forward through all the commercials.
Well, Kevin, we're really glad you catch us, because you add to the live stream very much.
You do that. Really that's very true.
Glad you made it.
Yep.
Actually, that's something I can say about almost everybody that comes in fact, everyone that comes on a regular basis to our live streams. You guys are what makes this live stream. You add to it. It wouldn't be anything if it was just David and me.
That's
Y'all
for
are
sure.
Important. You bring up good things and make us laugh, and this just wouldn't be.
You sit here long enough, you start thinking, am I just talking to myself?
Right.
So,
and we talk to ourselves a lot.
But whenever the folks come in that that respond back, and it's kind of it's a conversation, even though it's a very strange form of conversation.
Yeah, back when he was watching them, they couldn't record it and then go back and watch it from the beginning without commercials.
And there's some guys in today that I'm kind of rooting for. There's some of these young guys that are coming up are really just smoking hot as far as their talent goes. So it's kind of good to see them just kind of come up and sort of attack the old guard, more or less. I mean, you got Phil Mickelson playing here at age 50.
Yeah.
And he might be playing alongside a kid that's just barely turned 21.
Exactly.
So it's an interesting sport.
Josh, you can do what I do. You can get yourself one earbud and tell people you're on the phone. That way they don't know you're really talking to yourself.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm glad you got our backs, North Shore. That's good to know. Not into golf, but hubby and I are enjoying the hockey is back. That's something I don't know anything about either.
I've never been able to get into hockey. I never could quite figure it out. Just
I'm just another one of those fan.
I actually watched something the other day that I don't think I've ever watched.
Hello and welcome.
I watched some people playing lacrosse.
I don't even know what that is. I have no idea.
It's a bizarre little game.
Well, thank you, North Shore. I appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
We tell people all the time that our live stream is just a group of friends getting together on a Sunday afternoon to visit for a while, because that's truly the way we feel about it.
I try not to get on my high horse too much.
Yeah.
I do now and then, but today I've done good, haven't I?
You have.
I've done
You've
good
hardly
today.
gotten smoked up at all.
Yep.
That's what happens when I sip a little toddy in his breakfast.
I guess it can. Lacrosse is a very physical sport, but
Is it played with a ball?
Well, it's got a ball, and then you got this thing.
Curved paddle?
Yeah, I mean, but it's not highlight.
It's not what?
Well, there's another one called highlight.
Oh, okay.
But highlight is played on a court, and this is played more out on a field. But it looks like it's a pretty tough course or a pretty tough game.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, Amy. Sorry. Then I have to deal with it the rest of the day.
Well, I'll tell you what, sweetie, I'm going to go.
All right, sweetheart.
So I'll see you later. All right. Friends, thank you for coming by. I'm going to go curl up with my TV and waste some time watching golf. So we love you. Thank you again for coming by. And very much appreciate it. So
and I'm hanging out for a little while. So if you guys want to stay, let's stay and we'll talk about whatever other than politics. Because when David's gone, we don't have to worry about getting anybody steamed up, but I don't do politics.
Hey, so. It's not always my fault. It is not always my fault.
Everybody's saying bye, David.
All right, bye-bye, y'all.
And Amy says, enjoy your golf.
Yeah, I will.
I was reading the other day that a lot of the states, due to the virus, a lot of the states are closing their borders. And if you go, some of them are not allowing people in or out. Others are allowing people in, but you have to be there a minimum of 2 weeks before you're allowed out again. So, Amy, we need to watch that when it comes time to do the chickens. I don't think David would be happy with me being gone for 2 weeks, and I don't think you guys could put up with me for 2 weeks. So we just need to be careful. Oh, gee. Okay, I'm going to make watermelon lemonade concentrate. And if I have all the stuff, I'll make watermelon rind pickles today. Like a net on a stick. Like chasing around butterflies? I don't know. Then tomorrow, why don't I come to Tennessee? Because there's no meat chickens in Tennessee for me to process. I can stay for 2 weeks. You would love it. I don't know. After 2 weeks, you might be getting really tired of me. Or just really tired. I'll tell him you said that, North Shore. Thank you. Then tomorrow I'm going to do butter and decide whether I have enough cheese to do some cheese. While we're just hanging out, Amy and her husband Brett do a time in their live stream where they take prayer requests. And I would love to do that as well. I keep one from theirs, but I also would like to do for others as well. So if you have a prayer request, I would be more than happy to add it to our list. Ellie, I thought watermelon lemonade concentrate sounded really good too. So, and the thing I like about it is it's not as much sugar as I thought it would be. You make, let's see, I'm trying to think. The one that I makes 6 pints of concentrate, and it takes right at 1 cup of sugar for 6 pints of concentrate, and each pint makes a half a gallon. So that's very little in the way of sugar for 3 gallons of lemonade. And I just think that sounded like a really neat idea, something that, oh, I love lemonade anyway. So leave out the watermelon. It would be good. Well, Amy, when I know I'm coming your way, I'll get some frozen strawberries and I'll make strawberry lemonade for you. Because I know you don't like watermelon, but you do like strawberries, and I like strawberries too. So, and the lady that did it, that I watched the video, did strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, and watermelon. So there's all kinds of choices we can make. And I'll leave out the ones I bring you. I won't have any watermelon in that, unless I bring some for Abby. Because doesn't Abby like watermelon? I thought she did anyway. So, and I don't know about whether I'll do ghee or butter, one or the other. That sounds good. Yeah, I thought it would sound good. And it's a lovely way to have a sweet, refreshing summer drink in the middle of winter. That always brings back the good summer feelings. There is a restaurant here. I don't know where else. I assume it's a nationwide restaurant. But there's a restaurant here in the San Antonio area that serves strawberry lemonade that is really out of this world. The restaurant is the Red Robin. And I like to go there for their onion straws, they call them. They're really, really skinny onion, not rings because I break them open, but they're just, I love onions anyway, so that's what I do. And by the way, I tried something this week that I've never done before that you guys might want to try as well. I did my own fried okra, but it's the way I did it this time that's different. I took the okra and froze it solid, and then I took them out, took the pieces out. I cut them in about, half-inch pieces. Now you want onion rings? Sorry, North Shore. Sorry about that, Sean. Anyway, I took the okra pieces out and rolled them in cornstarch, then in egg wash, and then in cornmeal, coarse ground cornmeal, and fried that up. And they were absolutely out of this world. Of course, I put all kinds of spices in it, but the cornstarch allowed it to get crispier, and then the cornmeal really gave it a wonderful crunch. So, am I making you hungry, Amy? I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not really at all. But I've had fried okra out, and it was good. I've made fried okra without the cornmeal, and that was good. But that combination really, really was the best. I bet there were no peppers in there. You're right, no peppers at all. That was the very best I've ever made at home. So I'm going to remember it. I'm going to write it down. I got I don't know how many of y'all were here, but yesterday when I went to see my mom, the family across the street was having a big estate sale. And several of the things I got, I went through their book collection. I bought probably 30 books total. Got $5 for the whole stack of books. I was just in heaven. But one of the things, or several of the things I got were cookbooks by Rachel Ray. And Ellie, this year I did not grow my own okra, but normally, yes, I do normally grow my own okra. But I've been thinking about going through those Rachel Ray books and doing a series on her food. The only problem is almost everything that Rachel makes has peppers in it. So either I'm going to have to wear my face mask and make the meal for David, or leave the peppers out and see how they turn out. Y'all are letting the rest of yours go to seed. Did you get a good harvest? Linda Music, hello. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. How are you doing? Oh, I'm so glad to see you come in. That reminds me, I've got to go and check again. I think YouTube unclicked me or unsubscribed me from you, and I've been finding that they've been doing that a lot lately. So I'm going to have to check on that. Let me write that down because I hate not getting. You do such beautiful music. I just hate it that I'm missing. Not I don't hate the music. I hate that I'm missing your videos. Okay, I will go and check that out when this is over. I want to be sure I'm still subscribed and have that little bell rung. Which reminds me, guys, if there are other folks around here who are in the chat who you're interested in, please look them up after the live stream and subscribe if there's something you really would like. I'm definitely into sharing and growing each other's channels. I'm getting close to the 2,000 mark in subscribers. I've got to admit, the first 1,000 subscribers I got within the first 4 months I was on YouTube, and then I quit really trying to build it. I stepped back because I had so many other things going on with David's health and my mom's health, and so I stepped back, and it's grown all organically on its own. I've gotten up to 2, so you would love to see me do that series, but prefer I leave out the peppers. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, I'm finding I occasionally make something with peppers in it for David. And if I wear my RZ mask, which is an N95 mask, it does not bother me. I'm very fortunate that way. So I'm not sure how doing a whole video with my RZ mask on would be, but it might work. I might do it just so you guys can see some of those, because she has some wonderful, all 4 of the books I got were her 30-minute meals. She has so many different ones, but the 30-minute meals, I could do the whole thing and have a short video, for some. I could have the whole thing done in under half an hour, and that would be really great. Does it bother my hands? No, I usually wear gloves, North Shore, so I don't really know. I think it would be interesting to see me leave out the peppers and maybe able to help someone else that can't have peppers. There are some things that she makes that just require peppers, but a lot of her stuff that I've made in the past, I do leave out the peppers, and it's fine. Ellie, what do you think of her 30-minute meal books? I've really been pleased with the recipes I've seen. I've not actually tried to cook any of them yet, but I've seen them. The recipes I have are the ones I go on her website and copy her recipes there. So, and that's what she's doing lately. It's not anything from back there. I have one of her first books. She doesn't even look like herself. She looks so different, but one of her first 30-minute meal cookbooks, and it was really cool. So I'm excited about that. And I got several other cookbooks, so you may be seeing some things come up. So love the cheesy orzo. You know, I have some orzo in my pantry, but I don't know how to make it. So I got one package of orzo at the food bank when I used to go to the food bank, and I haven't known what to do with it. So it's still on the pantry shelf. I'll have to look and see if I've got it and try that. I know I love cheesy grits, so I would probably like cheesy orzo too. There was a little restaurant that David used to take me to when we lived in Florida that made some of the best cheesy grits I've ever had in my life. Make veal and olives. Ooh, that sounds good too. I didn't think I liked olives when I was a kid, but I've discovered I really like them as an adult, at least the black ones and the calamatas. Calamatas are wonderful olives. So, oh goodness. Well, guys, Sean's heading to Ellie's place. Maybe we ought to all head to Ellie's place and meet there. I'll let her cook for me. It is 12:17, and I do have a lot of watermelon to cut up and get busy with, and about 25 lemons I've got to zest and then juice. So I'm probably going to let you guys go. I will see you next Sunday. I'm trying to think if there's anything coming up between now and next Sunday other than if you come on Thursday nights at the Broussards, you'll see me there. Otherwise, I'll see you next Sunday. If I come to Pennsylvania, let me know. Do you know, Ellie, this past fall, I was in Pennsylvania. I had to make a business trip with a friend, and we drove up there. So, yeah, Amy, it's going to be a lot of work, but I'm going to have some wonderful stuff sitting on my pantry shelf. I just have to find a space on my shelf. My pantry is getting full. I'm going to have to expand into my office and put some things in there. Well, guys, you take care. Sean, thank you for showing up. All of you, thank you very much for coming by. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it now, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.